contact telephone numbers?
No, this is the only phone number I've got.
Just this one, no problem. Would you like to provide an email address at all today?
There's no need for that.
That's fine, no problem. And are you working at the moment or in receipt of any benefits?
Oh, that's the thing. Basically, I do. I've just got back into work the other week, and at the moment, I've been deprived from work now for 4 days.
Right, so you've been in work for 4 days, yeah?
No. I've been deprived from working for 4 days now.
Oh, right, okay.
Deprivation.
Right, okay. Just bear with me a moment. Okay, so you working and you have a job, yeah?
Well, I'm actually a HGV driver. My actual job, I'm a self-employed agent, works for a HGV company, so I basically work for agencies. So work-wise, I work when I work when I take the hours up and when they've got work, basically. So yeah, you can say that I can work any given time.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you are struggling at all financially at the moment, on the back of our letters, in terms of step change, they offer free debt and financial advice, okay?
Okay.
We have 2 accounts here. So we have one that's sent from to Marston from Bailiffs Council in relation to parking or loading, unloading restricted street. On the 15th of the 3rd, 2020, the balance is £423. The other one we have is from the same client, and it's for parking or loading, unloading restricted street on the 21st of the 7th, 2019. That's £188. Are you looking to clear these today with a debit or credit card at all?
Well, basically what it is, what I'm actually looking to do is I'm looking to sort of make a concern. I've got a concern, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if you're aware that your agents that you've sent out to sort of to clamp the vehicle or carry out the warrant are not conducting themselves correctly, and secondly, they also basically have done their job unlawfully, and I'd like to explain why.
Right, okay, yes, if you would explain to me how they've done that.
Well, because basically what it is first and foremost, that's another issue altogether, which I'm leaving that to my finance company, so they will deal with that. I've got people sorting that out already who will prove to you that you've unlawfully clamped a financed vehicle that shouldn't be clamped.
Right, so, we are allowed to carry out checks.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I'm just letting you know that that's ultimately you're going to find that it's on finance, and obviously you can't do anything with the vehicle. That's one. But what it is that your officer called me up in a very unreasonable manner. He has not spoken to me rightfully at all. By the way, I'm just letting you know I'm now having to record this conversation because it's for my own personal, how do you say, log. But basically, it's been recorded, so I'm just letting you know that you're being recorded. But basically what it is I spoke to your officer, who's extremely rude, very, very unreasonable, somewhat aggressive in his manner. I asked him, I says, look, very nicely, as you can see, I'm not speaking to you in any fashion, but I just basically asked him, say, look, I understand what you're saying. I can't obviously afford to pay the amount you've asked me to pay. Maybe can we come to an agreement? Maybe I can, give you a down payment and I can pay installments to clear it up. I've explained to him that the vehicle obviously is on finance. You can't really do anything with it anyway, and I don't have that money to pay you right now. I can go into further details of how this happened, because it's not that I was just left. It's not that what I'm saying is not that I've said I didn't want to pay or won't pay. It's not they can't pay or won't pay. I've agreed, and I've put my hands up and said, look, you know what, it's my mistake. Let's sort this out. So that's one. But what I'm saying is your officer's completely been rude to me. He's not once come to see me. I've asked him, I said, come and see me. Let's talk. He didn't want. I said, look, well, legally, I believe it's my right. You have to give me paperwork. You've not given me no paperwork. You've clamped my vehicle. You've run off with the document. I was literally 2 minutes away. I said, listen, you called me a minute ago. You're at the vehicle. Just wait there, I'll be there. He drove off. He didn't want to speak to me. He's been ignoring me. I've tried to text him. I've tried to call him. He's basically doing what I refer to as a bully boy. He's being a bully. A fellow with an authority trying to bully somebody who knows his rights too. So what I'm actually trying to say to you is that your officer has not conducted his job correctly. I mean, all the rest of the finance and this we can argue that in court or whatever it is. What I'm saying is your officer's given me no paperwork. I don't know if it's a goon. I don't know if he's a thief. I don't know who he represents. He doesn't give me no documentation. He hasn't proved to me whether or not what I owe. He's done none of that, none of the above. and he's ignored my phone calls, ignored my messages, and he's totally just ignored me. So I'm calling up today to make a complaint to say that, well, as a I guess I'm sort of a customer now, isn't I? I believe I'm kind of like a customer.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you that I don't believe your officer's conducting himself. The agent is conducting himself correctly, and it's actually disturbed me deeply that I've been treated in this way when I've just tried to be as civil as I can in a civil matter. So I would like to know what we can do about that.
Right. In regards to all this, okay, I'll just go back to all your points. So, in regards to you saying that he's clamped the car unlawfully, he has got the right to clamp the car, okay, under the warrant, he's allowed to clamp it. If he's unable to remove it, that's something that it's checked that he has to carry out, but he is allowed to leave it clamped until he carries out those checks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that the enforcement agent, again, he's not able to set you into a payment arrangement. So he's instructed under the warrant to collect the balance in full. Okay, so I appreciate, it is a lot of money and you can't, you said, you're not able to pay it in full, but the enforcement agent, he's not able to set payment arrangements. All I can do is apologise if he was rude or anything to you. I can apologise on his behalf. Okay,
thank you.
For the other, and with the paperwork, he doesn't have to provide you paperwork because we've already sent you out paperwork in regards to both accounts. The enforcement agent hasn't got to provide you with any paperwork whatsoever.
Well, I think that's the part where basically we're going to probably have to cross wires there, because ultimately everything else you've said to me, I won't challenge that, right? But the fact of the matter is, I have spoken to authorities, and I have spoken to the right people. And yes, you do have to give me paperwork. Of course you do. If you're gonna have to, well, first and foremost, your agent will have to identify himself to me. He'll have to prove to me he's an agent. He'll have to provide me with paperwork to prove that that what I've done wrong before he can continue on with his job. And that's the rightful way.
Right,
I haven't.
So we have sent you out paperwork. So that's our warning of enforcement and warrants in regards to, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you have to hand me paperwork. What I'm saying is, are you saying to me, if a police officer pulls up and stops me in a vehicle, I should not ask his identity? Well, he doesn't have to prove to me he's a police officer? So that's what I'm saying. He has to prove to me he's an enforcement officer. But what I'm saying is that...
give you his badge number?
His badge number wouldn't... Yeah, if you don't mind, you give me his badge number. That's not really going to do me much. What I'm saying is that he's conducting it illegally. You're supposed to give me... I've spoken to the rightful authorities. I've got... I'll let you know now, I have got, officers, how do you say, people who work within the police force quite highly in my family. So I know what I'm talking about. I've spoken to people directly who've told me, no, you have to identify yourself. I know the law on that side. What I'm saying is, he hasn't done that and he hasn't given me paperwork. Look, he hasn't even seen me. He's clamped my car and driven off. Is that legal? He hasn't come over to me and shown me paperwork, give me paperwork or nothing. And I was right there. You see, so what I'm saying is, I just want to be treated, as a human being. I'm not doing anything... Again, I'm not trying to beat anybody up, kill anybody, do anything. I'm actually here trying to hold my hands up, ultimately, and settle this dispute. And all I'm getting is, quite unlawful behaviour being sent back to me by individuals who are supposed to be authority and represent this, the Queen and the government and this country in the rightful way. And that's not how you treat people. That's what I'm saying. And
like I said, in regards to his behaviour, if he was rude to you in any way, like I said, all I can do is apologise on his behalf, okay?
Okay, thank you.
In regards to all the other disputes you have, the enforcement agent was working within the law.
Okay, well, I can say this to you. I will not argue with that, because what I'm trying to say is, at the minute, I'll just say that it's what you call deprivation, in terms of depriving me from a vehicle that should legally be unclamped and released, so that I can go to work, bring the money and pay back whichever fines, etc. My finance, I've got no problem with my finance agreement's in place, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and you're going to find that this vehicle should simply have been unclamped. So that I'll say, but if you're doing your job on that side, I'll let that be. But I'm saying on my side, of course I'm going to claim for deprivation. You've deprived me from work now for almost half a week, and as the days continue, I'll only be adding that to it. But that's the point I'm trying to basically make, is that I understand that, and I respect that. I'm not disrespecting that. We can deal with that the legal way. But your officer's not conducting himself the legal way, is what I'm trying to explain.
But how isn't he conducting himself legally? I've already advised you that he's followed all the instructions that he has to.
Can I just get your name? Any chance?
My name is Janice.
Janet, and your department is?
I'm in collection.
Collections, yeah? Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Collections, okay, Janet. Okay, Janet. So what you're saying to me is that your officer, your final your final statement is that your officer should not identify himself to me.
No, not that. So in the case of not clamping the car, he is able to. He has done that unlawfully. He's allowed to do that. He hasn't got to provide any paperwork because we've already sent you all that paperwork. And in regards to payment arrangements, he hasn't got to send you into a payment arrangement either. It's payment in full only. If you want to ask him to identify himself, then that's fine. He should show you his enforcement agent's badge. Okay, but as for the other disputes, then, like I said, he has worked correctly.
Do you by any chance think you can get your officer to come and identify himself to me and prove that what I've done and show me my paperwork, and then we can go from there? Because
I can ask him if he can show you. I think he can show you on his tablet. Like I said, he has
that's fine. I just want what I want is proof of his name. I want proof of his office. I want the details that he's really an enforcement agent.
His name is Mr. McDonald.
Yeah, but I want these details from him personally. He's the one clamped my vehicle,
that's fine.
And he should give me the rightful paperwork. He should give me the rightful documentation, and he should identify himself. If a police officer, like I said to you a minute ago, pulled me over at the side of the road, it's the same thing. You're supposed to give me a badge number. I'm supposed to get his details. He's supposed to identify himself, and then he can conduct his business. That's the way things work, right? So that's all I'm asking, and your officer's not done that. So that is unlawful. That part. The rest of it, cool. You can make an argument for that. I'm not arguing with that, as you can see. I'm arguing with the simple facts that he's also broken the law by doing that. That's all recorded here.
Right. I've phoned through to the enforcement agent now. Okay. Take the hold a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yeah, sorry.
Hello, thank you for holding there. I've just spoken to the enforcement agent now.
Yeah.
So he has been in contact with the police or advised him not to speak to you because you've made a threat to stab him. So the police are going to take a statement from him over the weekend. Okay, so if you wanted to make any kind of payment, you would have to call us here in the office to make that payment. Okay? Like I said, I've given you the badge number, and I just checked with my manager now, and all the enforcement agents' badges, they are on their chest, so you're able to see that they are legitimate and the badge number. But at this stage now, the enforcement agent has been advised by the police not to speak to you until they've taken a statement from him.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all right. So the police are advising him not to speak, what you're saying, yeah?
Yeah, so the police have called him. He said that you went to the police and reported. The police called them, called the enforcement agent and confirmed that, he wasn't breaking any laws or anything. The enforcement agent have then advised that you threatened to stab him, so the police have advised him not to speak to you because of this until they've taken a statement from him.
Mm-hmm. The police have advised.
Okay,
so can you give me evidence to say the police have done that? Because, and what lawful right, and what?
That's not down to me.
And what has that got to do with the fact that this? What I'm saying is this, right? Yeah. What you're saying still doesn't make any logical sense. If he wants to call the police to be present whilst we talk, let him do that. The man is in no danger. You can see for yourself there is no issues. Yeah, but no. But what I'm saying is, what?
You need to contact. You just need to, for either the police now or the enforcement agent to get in touch with you. The enforcement agent now, he is looking to add £235 attendance fee and request payment in full. Failure to pay in full would result in removal of goods and vehicles with £110 removal fee and any storage and auction costs, okay? But at this stage now, the only thing I can do is take payment in full. And like I said, the enforcement agent or the police will be in touch with you in due course, okay? So thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.
Sorry, you kind of spoke a bit fast actually. I didn't really get what you said. A bit fast.
Okay, so at this
stage,
like I said...
Well, I want to ask you sorry, but I was trying to ask you something. I'm saying, you can have the police presence if you feel I'm any danger to nobody. Let the police come and be present. All I want is the agent to identify himself to me and to prove your agent has run away from coming to me for no reason.
The enforcement agent is not allowed to talk to you now. The police have told him not to speak to you. So he's not able to speak to you now until the police take a statement. He can't reattend. He's not willing to reattend now because of that threat.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that your officer has to identify himself to me. He can call the police and let the police be present if he feels in danger, because he's in no danger, right? That's what you're missing in the first place, is what I'm trying to explain. So I don't care what you have to say. He has to identify himself to me. So he can call the police. I'm very fine, very welcome for him to do that, and let the police be present. All I want is the paperwork and him to identify himself. I've just explained that to you. That's all I want.
Right, okay.
And that's my legal rights.
What I did say to you now is that he wouldn't be, whether it's with police or not, he will not be reattending your property now under the police instruction. Okay, because of that threat, the police have got to investigate it, okay? There's nothing else I can advise you. Thank you for your time, okay? Enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, okay, so I just get your badge number as well. 1 second.